Hello, everyone. Here we go. This is the seventh and final part of my Daredevil Born Again video review series. And this is, let me put this here. Let me move this here. Okay, cool. Okay. I just want to show, first things first, I want to show, why isn't this working? 1 second, guys. Okay, weird. Okay, I just want to show, again, I'm reviewing it on my computer, but I want to show the original art edition, Born Again Art Edition. And like I did for the last few reviews, I just want to show the inside. Check this out. This is the inside back cover. That's a moment from this issue coming up that I'm reviewing, issue 233. And I want to show a little of that as well. Here's the original art, the cover, the splash page from that issue. And I also want to show 2007, Dave Mazzucchelli was drawing a very different version, some stylized versions of Daredevil. Whether for a portfolio or commission, I don't know what it was, but check out the way he drew it years ago, 1986, I believe at this point, or 85. And this is 2007. Very different, but awesome. I would love to see that, that version of Daredevil in a story written by Frank Miller. It's probably not going to happen, but that would have been amazing. He still has some interest in it, clearly, 20 years later. He was still drawing it. So yeah, guys, I'm going to show a few more of these, and then we'll get to it. These 2 pages, they're killer, both of them. From the writing to the art to what's being said, it's just, man, it's awesome. Also, I just want to show a few things here. They show, in addition, this is different right here, this image right here. I believe that's an expanded image of one that he has in there. And also, this is the cover to this, but it was a cover of Marvel Age that Dave Mazzucchelli drew to basically prep, Evening Flight, to prep for the Born Again, what ended up being the Born Again series. That's an awesome cover. I mean, just awesome. And then here's the cover to the trade paperback that Mazzucchelli, drew, an original drawing. This is a number of years later. It's fantastic. I mean, it's very difficult to get that kind of foreshortening and make it look right, and he, of course, made it look right. It's awesome. Very beautifully drawn. And if you notice, guys, all the other main characters are in the stained glass windows. You got everyone there. You got Foggy and Gloriana. You have Cap. You have Manalis. You have Kingpin. You have the Nurse. You have Nuke. You have Ben Urich and his wife, Doris. You have Maggie in there, and you have the Kingpin on bottom eating everyone. Pretty wild. Pretty wild. And then also they have some of the rough pencils in this. And they also have it in the collection that I'll be reading tonight as well. But man, it's just beautiful. It's all there. It's all there in these roughs. We saw this issue last time. And you look at it, not much different than what ended up being there. Not much different at all. That's when you are pretty confident enough to say, oh, okay, I think I can get this done in pretty fair time. All right, guys, let me just put this away and then get cracking. Okay. Hey, Mikey. Flady says, a serious skill in art and storytelling that on that stained glass shot. It's beautiful. It's a lot of thought, a lot of work in there, and beautifully done. It's one thing to just have this idea, but to execute it the way he did, it's a stunning piece of work. Whoever has that original, if anyone else has besides him, must be very, very pleased. because it's a beautiful, beautiful piece of work. I think that was the first, again, that was the first trade paperback cover, I believe. Not long after. I don't, could have been a few years. I don't know for sure. It's great. All right, guys, so here we go. This is Daredevil 233. This is the final issue of what ended up being the Born Again story. Let me get my glasses and just start reading. I got this flap that keeps popping up, which I hate. But let's see if I can get this a little bigger on the screen and get me a little smaller. Okay. Stan Lee presents Armageddon. This issue respectfully dedicated to Jack Kirby. If you saw the cover, you see who's guest starring in this. My man Cap. That's awesome. So we left off with Nuke crashing into Hell's Kitchen, jumping out of a helicopter and start blazing away, just shooting people left and right, killing people. He wasn't supposed to do that necessarily, just supposed to make some noise to bring out Matt, Daredevil. Kingpin wants him out there, but he went wild. He was, he's on these drugs, red, white, and blue drugs. And when he gets the red one, that's the most intense one, where he goes on a killing sprees. And again, he's a brainwashed soldier, brainwashed by the military and also criminals. They use him for certain things. Anyway, here we go. Hell's Kitchen screams. A building facade becomes a bone-crushing avalanche. Napalm splatters from roof to crowded street. A car explodes. Glass splinters sharp as razors, slices through the air and through flesh. Sirens wail like spoiled children. Children. Don't think about the children. Don't listen to them. He hears the children screaming. He can hear, better than anyone. He has super hearing, so. The gun, that lunatic's gun. Listen to it. Firing bullets now. Listen to him. What great choreography here. Look at that. Boom, flipping over. Beautifully drawn. As always with Mez Kelly. He never made a false step. He really didn't. It's fantastic. So the colonel says, "We're pulling out, boy. Our target's vanished." And Nuke says, "Won't let you down, Colonel. I'll find him." He goes, "No, Nuke. Mission aborted. Won't let you down. Won't let our boys down." He thinks it's a mission in Vietnam. His heart's strong, but too fast. Got to be amphetamines. I'll be lucky if that's all there is to him. That's what Matt's thinking, because he knows this guy's not just jacked up. He's souped up. And Wesley is complaining to the Kingpin now, his right-hand man. He's like, "Boss, it's getting out of hand. It's all over the news. You've got to stop it." There. Did you feel that? Kingpin says. "Even here, 20 blocks distant, the earth trembles." He's getting off on it. And again, he lost his mind, really, Kingpin. He's a criminal, he's a piece of shit, but at the same time, he overstepped himself. He got sloppy. He thought he could just take out Matt Murdock and kill him, and that's it. Well, he refuses to die, Murdock, Daredevil. And here is their first direct encounter with Daredevil and Nuke. Scrack, brack. No, he's too quick. No, every time he fires that thing, across the street, an old woman crumples by her window with wounds that will never heal. Every time he fires, people die. It's got to be too fast. Boom. He was trying to do hand-to-hand combat because he's just too fast. Again, he has some super soldier serum in him as well. And he has a different kind of skin, like very strong skin, hard to penetrate. He goes, "Don't give him a second. Nerve center. Feel it hum like a fuse box. Short circuit that." He goes, "No good." Boom. He tried to do some nerve damage, and he couldn't quite do it. And Nuke gets the upper hand and clocks him on the head. And Wesley is literally sweating with a rag now. He's like, "This is slaughter, boss. This is mass murder." He goes, "This is war." I have done so no more than transported from a South American jungle to Manhattan to Hell's Kitchen. Yeah, done no more than that. Keeps telling himself that. Daredevil says, doesn't feel pain. Don't go for pain. Go for eyes. Doesn't matter. He's blind as I am. Too many victims. Make him drop it. Muscles can't work if they're severed. No. Almost broke my fingers. So he tried to, again, hit his nerve spots, and he almost broke his fingers because his skin's really strong. He's been, super soldiered. And Wesley is still crying. He goes, boss, if this gets pinned on us, he goes, you forget that Nuke is a government agent. Wesley, do you think that the Army wants it known that they loaned his services to the crime lord of New York City? We may depend on our duly elected officials to protect us. He always has an answer. It's always perverted. And here they go again. Daredevil says, blind as I am, but he doesn't have heightened senses. Built-in radar tells me where everything is better than eyes. Forget nerves. So many victims, because he keeps referring to the victims. And this is good stuff. It's like, so long as this fight is prolonged, victims keep dropping dead every time this guy shoots. So he's trying to keep him as busy as he can, risking his own life. He goes, where everything is better than eyes. Forget nerves. So many victims. He goes, forget nerves. Break the bone. And he goes, no, that's not bone. He tried to break him, and he hurt his hand bad. He goes, no more. Stop being clever. No more. So he kicks him off the rooftop. And Ben Urich and Gloriana are there. My name is Ben Urich. I'm a reporter. He goes, there, over there. I got it. So Gloriana is still shooting away. He goes, Hell's Kitchen is under attack by a one-man army. Matt Murdock is trying to negotiate a ceasefire unilaterally. And Nuke gets zapped. And then he falls. And you got the victims, I think, from the burger joint that Murdoch's working at. Crazy. It's crazy. Mary. All units. End of the world. It's watch it, Glory. Watch it, Glory. Glory, get out of the way. She goes, I got it. She's still shooting away. Help me. I can't breathe. Scrack. Can't breathe. Glory, you idiot. He shoots this missile. And Ben Urich says, I shouldn't call him Matt. Give the man his due. He's wearing the tights. He's Daredevil. The man without fear. What an awesome moniker. The man without fear. Fear of bullets or rockets or fire. I always was impressed by this right here, this small figure. Usually people would they would like suggest something, right? But whereas, Mazkelly, it's tightly drawn with its own detail there. There's light, dark underneath, light underneath, dark overhead. I don't know. There's something about it. He does that again later on with Iron Man. There's something about that. I love it. It looks very flat out real. And Ben Urich says, the fire, Glory, when it hits the gas tank, come on. Boom. Daredevil flips over, grabs Nuke's weapon, and Ben Urich's coat jacket is on fire. She goes, Ben. He goes, and Nuke is on fire himself, and he's still, he's standing there. He goes, our boys, get it off me, Ben, stop thrashing. And Daredevil hits him so hard that he breaks his rifle on him. And then the colonel in the helicopter, coming for you, boy. Bracka. And he hits Gloriana in the back. And Ben is just trying to get the fire off. And Daredevil is finished. He's like, we're done here, no more. So he shoots down the colonel in the helicopter. He says, forgive me. He kills him deliberately, puts him out of the misery of the city so people can stop dying. So Gloriana, can stop being shot, and also Ben, and so on. And here's this page, guys. This is epic. This is such a big deal in New York City. It's become a war zone. What happens? The Avengers come in. They live right in the city, the Avengers mansion, Tony Stark's mansion. And check out Urich, the way he describes this. Out of nowhere, they appear. And here's Captain America, powerful looking, big, strong, tall. He's holding Gloriana. He goes, this one's been shot. Medic, over here, man. He goes, put those fires out. We don't want a gas main going up. And Yurick, the writer, the reporter writes, the journalist, he goes, a soldier with a voice that could command a god, and does. I mean, that's just perfect. It's brilliant. It's so damn good. A soldier with a voice that could command a god, and does. Because suddenly it's raining so hard it hurts. It's raining so hard it hurts. Everybody who can falls silent, except Matt. So Matt's trying to get some information from this nuke. He goes, the Kingpin, he sent you. Say it. He goes, give me a white. Give me a white. I guess the white to settle down. And here's Iron Man coming in with that mid-'80s, late 80s white and red suit. I guess they call it silver and red, but it's white and red. Because Daredevil, that man is ours on federal authority. Stand back. You have 5 seconds. Something here about the fine detail that Matt Kelly puts in here. You see that? The zipatone there and the very fine lines there. Something about it also. It was similar to the last run that they did with Daredevil. It's really, really good. And here, there's a soft hum as computer circuitry generates enough power to level a building and holds it, waiting his repulsor rays. A JEC, I don't know. I think it just settles him down. I think the reds are to hop him up before the kill. The blues, I guess, make him normal, and then the whites are to bring him lower than that, I believe. I can't say for sure, but that's what it sounds like at least. Because it seems like when he goes for the kill, he wants a red. And here he wants a white. To be back to semi-normal, if not subnormal. I don't know. Maybe he wants to be really settled down. Because he knows that, a part of him knows at least that he went off too much. And this is Yurick saying, not being stupid. Matt backs away. Yeah, he's like, I can't. This is a whole different world here. I got the Avengers on here. And Nuke again says, give me a white. And, you know, Captain America looks a little pensive. He's looking down in the rain. He knows that something really is dirty here going on with this U.S. soldier, with this attack on New York City. And then you got the repercussions here with Kingpin and his crew, some of the gang bosses here. He goes, it's a long night. It's a horrible night. Sheer lunacy, Kingpin. Sheer lunacy. Hundreds of people dead. Hundreds of people dead. Guys, sometimes I forget the damage that nuke did. I mean, hundreds are dead. That's incredible. I remember I've read this over and over, the years, but it just hit me like, holy shit. I guess that would make sense with that kind of damage. Hundreds of people dead. If the syndicate gets fingered for it, we'll be in court for months. He goes, please, Mr. Glazer, do not refer to our organization as a syndicate. It dates you. He goes, dates me? Right. Sure. In the old days, we might go for a family, but we never flattened an entire neighborhood. Have you any idea what your vendetta has cost us tonight in lost drug trade? This guy's really calling out the Kingpin. That's not wise. Hey, Grey Wolf. Hey, SXS. So here we are. This is the day after the horrific attack on New York City by nuke by the Kingpin. Hundreds are dead. I don't know. Maybe that didn't register last time, but holy shit. And Kingpin is trying to mock this guy who's criticizing him for this vendetta. It was very little as compared to the lost real estate. But please, go on, Mr. Glazer. The guy's like, you bet I'll go on, fat man. I'll say what everybody here is thinking. You're screwing up. You've endangered all of us and cost us millions just to harass that blind shyster. One guy's like, Glazer, you better ease up. Kingpin's like, Mr. Glazer is entitled to his opinion, Mr. Ornstein. Allow me to interject. However, that Murdoch is no longer an attorney. Evening, Sean. He goes, crazy, Kingpin. You've been crazy ever since you lost your wife. He's like, oh, shit. Look, I guess I've been hitting the bottle a little too. I didn't mean to. I mean, Hell's Kitchen, I've put a lot of years into it. And he goes, yes, Mr. Glazer, I understand. Crack. Kills him on the spot. You know, guys, I love the way Matt Kelly makes gangsters look at their faces. Because we all understand each other now, don't we, gentlemen? It's fucking awesome. It's a great scene with these rat bastards. And then you got Dawn breaks mercifully. Excuse me, sorry. Foggy runs right after Matt. He goes, Matt says, Foggy, he was my partner in another life. Good thing he didn't notice me. He's so worried about Gloriana, who was shot, that he just went right past him. Glory, oh glory, our Father who art in heaven, can't you give me something for this? Hurts, just keeps hurting. So hundreds are dead and probably as many are injured. Hi, honey, I was so scared. Don't move me, just give me something for it. I think we all saw it last night, sister. Okay, so Maggie's talking to Gloriana. You're from Ireland? I haven't seen it since I was a child. I guess it just tells you that Maggie is Irish, and therefore Matt, first generation American probably. Um, is it based on EVS? Sean writes. Anyway, I think we all saw it last night, sister. The bad part, anyway. Foggy, you came. You need sleep, Maggie tells Matt. He's like, I'm all right, Maggie. Really, I am. Of course I came, Gloria. I'm so glad you're okay. You are okay? Bullet passed right through Foggy, though it did take a chunk of me with it. Foggy says, I can't believe this happened. First thing we'll do is get you to a proper hospital. Gloriana says, I can't be moved just yet. Foggy, I've got a favor to ask you. Get some sleep, Matt, as soon as you can. I will. And as this is happening, he's being followed, Matt. Here's Karen looking healthier than she has in the entire series so far. She looks almost like back to her old days there. Sure, Gloria, whatever. Well, I hate to ask, Foggy, but could you take this roll of film to the Daily Bugle, to Ben York? By now, he's climbing the walls. So they're going to give Ben the pictures that she took to develop them. SXS, the King Pie. It's hilarious. Karen says, there you are. And they just kiss. And this is Gloriana and Foggy talking. So funny. Matt and Karen just say, he just walks up, there you are, they kiss. And where's Foggy and Gloriana really talking it up? Guess you're pretty serious about this job. I thought maybe, don't even start with that, Foggy. I've lost nothing that won't grow back. And the pictures I took. Yeah, well, I'll be seeing you, sweetie. Sure, Foggy, I'll call you. That's interesting, a little abrupt. He's leaving? Huh. I guess he's bringing the photos to, I guess he's bringing the film to Urich. Okay, that's what it is. What is it, Matt? Karen asks. He goes, I'm in trouble, Karen. I have to go. Trouble, if that's who I think it is. Excuse me, sorry. He bumps into Foggy, goes, and Matt says, yes. No man ever breathed like that. Down the block in that alley. No, there's a scent. He's moving, though you'd never know it from his heartbeat. So steady. There, ran past me. Rattled the garbage can. A little sloppy, but fast. Faster than me. That's awesome. Cat America ran right past him. And it's not judgment call. Him say a little sloppy, but but fast. He goes, no good. He's got it all worked out right around the corner, leaping so easily. Window still creaks with his weight, 300 pounds at least. It's an awesome buildup of Cap. A great description of him. His muscles lie about it like hydraulic pumps. They swing him up. All worked out. He tracked me since last night. Hail, Jimmy. Thanks for being here, guys. Appreciate it, as always. Great shot, man. A great shot. Very dramatic. Great shadow. Cap's whole entire bottom part of his leg is, but if you look close, it's a little cross-hatching there. So it would have been black from there, but that would have been open up. The colorist, just put that blue, man. There's no reason to bury that in complete darkness, but that's fine. I love the way it looks regardless, and these thick lines, look at that. Love it. Daredevil, I mean you no harm. What do you want? That man last night, who is he? You didn't ask? Your employers, I mean. He goes, they aren't my employers. They said he's a terrorist. I always wondered what this was. It can't be his eye because that's too far up here. It wouldn't work there. Could be a little scratch right there. I think that's what it is. I hope that's what it is because it wouldn't work his eye. I always notice that. Sean says, I love it. Which version of this would you recommend? There are lots to choose from. I have the digital version. I have the old hardcover version with that beautiful cover with the church. What's it called? The stained glass with all the characters in the background. I have the large version. It's a taller version of this hardcover, which came out months ago. And I also just got another one that just came out, a small paperback with an introduction, a new introduction by Miller, and also a foreword, I believe, from Charlie Cox, the actor who plays Matt Murdock Daredevil, who does a great job, by the way, if you haven't seen it. And of course, the artist edition, which I've been showing at the beginning of each of these reviews. The Daredevil, Dave Mazzucchelli's Daredevil Born Again artist edition is fantastic. I recommend them all. I mean, to be honest, it's like I can't get enough of it. I hope they have. It was the 50th anniversary. It'll be the 50th anniversary 50th. I'm sorry. What the hell? 40th anniversary. That's crazy. The 40th anniversary this year, at least when this story started. Now, they already released the hardcover a few months ago and this one, so I think that's it for this. Next year, they got to go big with Dark Knight Returns. They got to go big. They got to do something special. They have to. A new edition, somehow, some way, make it killer. I don't know what they'll do, but, whatever it is, I'll definitely consider getting it. SXS says, the way Miller and Mazzucchelli convey movement in their run is second to none. It's so damn good. It's so damn good. It really is. Mazzucchelli's a master. He's a master artist. And again, he's one of the all-time greats, but because he only did mainstream comics for a few years, I mean, really, he was on Daredevil from 208 to 233. He missed a few issues between that, but it was a solid few-year run. And then he did Batman Year One, and that's that. He did an issue of Star Wars. He did an issue of Indiana Jones. He did an issue of Shang-Chi. He did a X Factor. He did an Angel story that was published in Marvel Fanfare, which is great, which I actually reviewed here maybe last month. A short story that and Nascenti wrote, excuse me. And it's really good, beautifully drawn. It looks like clearly inspired by Alex Toth. But what was I going to say? Sorry, my stomach's growling. I got to get something after. This is awesome. This is awesome. So here we go. Cap, and now it's interesting because Cap was following him since last night, meaning he followed him. He realized that he's Matt Murdock, and he's not going to threaten him with his identity revealing it. He just wants to know if he has any information about Nuke. And Matt's like, you didn't ask your employers. I mean, you work for the government. That's what you guys said, right? And they did work for the government, the Avengers, which I never liked. I really hated that, actually. Become some government agents, that sucks. They should be independent so they don't get tangled up with all the bureaucracy, all the corruption. But it was like, I guess, a more simple time with Stan Lee in the 60s. I think that's where it began, but I may be wrong. I know that they brought, what was his name? Gyrick. He went for the Avengers. He went to the X-Men. He always tried to round them up, get them under the government control. They aren't my employers. They said he's a terrorist, and Matt says, no ordinary terrorist, if that's even what he is. No, he's too good at it and too well made. Interesting use of language by Matt. Too well made. His skin contains several kinds of plastics. It's very tough. Doesn't burn easily. His skeleton, his muscles, they're only partly human. So what's it to you? Matt asks. It's interesting. If you look at this, guys, more so this issue than any other, when Lee Weeks took on Daredevil, you could see elements of this a lot. He was clearly influenced by Kelly, clearly, uh, and Johnny May Jr. because he did it. I believe he did it right after Johnny May Jr. began. So there was a little Johnny May Jr. touch, a little Kelly, and then a lot of Lee Weeks. But it was great. And they had a follow up to this, nowhere near as good. D.G. Chichester, I believe, and Lee Weeks, but it was a 4-issue Last Rites, I think it was called. Somewhat of a sequel to this. I don't really think of it as such. I think this is on its own. It's that damn good. Sean says, "Okay, dude, no clearer. I will get the soft cover. Can't wait, to be honest. The new soft cover is a small version. It's a small version. If you don't mind that, go for it. Let me show you quick. And it's a different cover than the other. There was an episode recently where I showed you guys all of the versions that I have. Here's the one that I just got recently. Marvel Premiere Collection. It's a nice matte cover, and it has, a lot of people talking about it here. One of the greatest Daredevil stories I ever told, Washington Post. With Born Again, Miller proved that he could once again take the character to even greater heights. Yep. Staggering, unforgettable. One of the Marvel's most gripping tales of loss and redemption. And the foreword by Charlie Cox. And also a new introduction by Frank Miller in Hell's Kitchen, 2024. And they have everything here. And then they have the additional issue, which I'm going to show you guys here, actually. It's issue 226, the issue prior to issue 227 when this series began. And it was Miller coming back. He and Denny O'Neil wrote it. I believe Miller must have written the dialogue clearly because it was just better. And some of the story you could tell, but it was clearly a touch of Miller returning, and then the next issue was all Miller at that point. So I'll go over that here as well. They're showing all the covers here. That's the stained glass one with all the characters. And then they're also showing you here the covers of the series without any of the titles, just the art. So that's pretty great to look at there also, just the art. And they did a recolored versions of them as well in one of these collections. Yeah, I think this is it actually. Yeah, they did it in one of the hardcovers recently, so you can tell these are all recolored. It's great. A little more texture, looks like a little more computer coloring. Though I don't like that they added the blue there. I think that they should have kept that white. And then you got pencils and the script as well. You have a number at least, 233. You have the entire script here of issue 233. Pretty damn cool. All right, guys, let me continue the review. So here we go. And Matt asks him, so what's it to you? Sean Allen, a better reader copy? Sure. I think so. It's cheaper. It's $15 soft cover. It's nice. Cool. SXS writes, been going through my Daredevil Visionaries Frank Miller trades, one of the best runs of all time. It is. I might even go through my omnibuses of those issues also, from 158 to 191. But he began writing 168 with Elektra. Then he introduced Elektra and the Hand and Stick and that entire story with all the ninjas. It's great stuff. And then I love the fact that when he came back a few years later, he left it behind. It was a pure crime story at that point. It was all crime. Just a direct crime story at this point with the Kingpin of Crime. no mysticism with the ninjas and all that, which is fine, that early run. But I just prefer Daredevil, I guess, dealing with crime. So here we go. Matt asked him, "What's it to you?" He goes, "He wears the flag." He goes, "I hadn't noticed." I love that, actually. It's not that he's not a patriot, but the point is that a few hundred people were murdered by this savage, and the government is clammed up, and they don't want the public to know what's going on, and they're always pissed about that. And he dives off the roof, which I love, by Maz Kelly. I don't know if he was doing that before, but Maz Kelly, that was his thing, diving off the rooftops, like literally diving. Beautiful. That's actually really good color here again for the 80s. It's very rare to find that, to add like backgrounds, add some buildings there. That's rare. It doesn't mean anything to them, thinks the soldier. To them, it's just a piece of cloth. Sometimes I feel so weak. Wow. That's heavy stuff. And then Yurik says, Glory's pictures make it just under deadline. Mystery killer attacks Hell's Kitchen, dozens dead. Now, dozens dead here, and the other guy says hundreds dead. Which one is it? Was the guy playing it up? Or was the guy telling the truth and the media is lying, meaning the government lied, and therefore the media lied? I don't know. That's why I was a little surprised to read that part. Hundreds dead. It looks like there could have been, but it's a little up in the air now. Yurik says Jameson is so happy he springs for 2 colors. It's a good story. Makes all the right people look terrible. And then you got Kingpin talking to a general. Will you contain the story, General, or must I take measures of my own? He goes, you can count on my department to render the situation stabilized, Mr. Fisk. Sir, you can't. You can't go in there. General, who is this man? He walks right into the headquarters. And the bought and paid for piece of shit general turns off the screen. Kingpin. He goes, Captain, pleasure to see you. Pleasure. Oh, that nonsense. I'm afraid you're not cleared for that, Captain, but it's nothing to... You know how these things... I really wish I could tell you, Captain. Then you'd know it's nothing to... I wish I could. The department holds you in the highest regard. We've always valued your commitment and your loyalty. Cap says, I'm loyal to nothing, General, except the dream. And when he says that, he means it. It's not just hyperbole. It's not just bullshit. It's not just him talking out of his ass. It's merely to recognize the fact that this is the personification of American ideals, American dream. He believes in it. He fights for it. He killed for it in World War II. I love that. It's great. It wasn't much of a place, just a grimy diner in a grimy in a grimy section of town. Just 30 years in the lives of Bertha and Otto Schnapp. That's what Matt says. Insurance company found some excuse I couldn't even understand. Yeah, they always do, don't they? I'm not going to ride into that whole thing where, it's like free Luigi. That's disgusting. But, when it's time for them to pay up, I've had my situation where you got to fight for it. Egon says, apparently this guy is a Hydra agent. You mean the guy red, white, and blue? The way piece of shits at Marvel turned him into a Nazi? And they said that not only did they make him into a Nazi, they said he was always Nazi. And the version that we're seeing today in Marvel Comics, don't buy this shit, but it's created by one of the gemstones, whatever, the one that Thanos wanted. It's an idealized version of that, because the real version is Nazi, just disgusting. Nick Spencer, piece of shit commie, who worked for literal Nazi-crats in life before he began destroying comics. Disgusting. They looked at everything except talent and ability, and as storytellers, they wanted their own rats in there, and they got them all right. Anyway, that's another story. Insurance company found some excuse I couldn't even understand to keep from paying on the policy. You could sue them, Otto. You ever sue anybody, Red? That's a question. It's to this lawyer. Me and the bride, we're not young anymore, and we've never been rich. Being right, well, that doesn't count for much. Not when you bring lawyers into it. No, I guess it doesn't. Matt sounds a little disappointed. And then Matt starts doing something interesting here. We'll read it in a few pages on. But here we go. Matt's walking with Karen. We're both unemployed now, Matt. You've got something in mind. What is it? It's sneaky. He says it's sneaky. SXS says, yeah. Egon the Dragon Cox. It was so criminal what they did to Cap. It was, but this is the left. They're nihilists. There's no tomorrow with them. No tomorrow. They don't give a fuck if they destroy the essence of the character or the country. You know, they want to wipe out our greatest companies, our greatest characters, our greatest icons. That's part of their deal. In their mind, they wipe it out, then it's reborn from the ashes. The retards don't understand that you can't build from ashes. It's like there's no country that has ever been born as a socialist country, communist country. It's impossible. You can't. Why? Because you have to feed off of the productive, those who produce. You can't start with a bunch of parasites. You know, who's going to get the things that they need to steal from? Who's going to do the work that, you know, it's all about destruction, and this is part of it. But, you know, at the same time, it's like whatever they've done to Marvel and they've destroyed, I still will go back. I will still read those old comics, still read those Stan Lee and Jack Kirby and Steve Ditko and Frank Miller, you know, the old ones at least, and still enjoy them. And see, that's the real deal right there before the corruption that came when the left went all out. SXS says, to me, Marvel continuity ends with Siege before the mediocre heroic age. See, I don't even remember that. I checked out a while back. But, you know, the only thing I do now is I get these older editions, the artist editions, the omnibuses. And then, you know, every so often, besides the Comicsgate comics, I will get a relative mainstream Conan by Roberto Della Torre, only when it's drawn by him, really. I've seen some other artists, and while they're serviceable, they're not as good as him. So he did a cover the old day, and they said he drew the inside, and he didn't. I was gonna get it. I said, "No, it's Dougie Braithwaite. He's a fine artist, but no. Once you got the master Roberto Del Toro, you don't want to go. It's like getting Mazzucchelli and then Al Milgrom drawing the next issue. You're like, what? You know, it's impossible. I'm not saying it's that far a drop, but that's where it goes. Egon says it's very Maoist. Yeah, definitely the cultural, you know, revolution. They want to wipe it all out, and again, they target the icons of icons like Captain America. Captain America, of course, they would make him a Nazi. That's it, and then they will use him also, and they'll tell us to this day. Jack Kirby was liberal. He was a Democrat. He was, yeah, sure. You take Jack Kirby today. He looks at the world we live in. You think he's gonna be all for the trans and all this stuff and pro? You know, I posted something today about the feminist movement, the LGBT, the BLM. They're all communist movements. They are, and their whole purpose is to try to destroy us, destroy American individualism, and turn it into collectivism to further communize the country. That's the purpose of it all. And the main argument I have against that, whenever someone tries to push back, says, "Okay, tell me the leftists, blacks, gays, and women that these movements celebrate. Give me. Tell me that BLM they celebrate Thomas Sowell. Tell me. Tell me that the feminist movement celebrates Ayn Rand. You know, they hate her. They can't stand her. It's all ideology all the time. It's not about women. It's not about blacks. It's not about gays. It's about communist blacks, communist gays, communist females." Anyway, guys, we can go on and on. I want to read from more comics and comments, and then we'll continue. Lady One says, Marvel died for me in 1995 when they had Iron Man play the infiltrator for Kang, right before the Heroes Reborn stuff. See, I don't remember that either. I was a voracious comic. I used to get stacks, guys, just stacks. lower and smaller and smaller and smaller, to the point where I only followed certain creators then, from Frank Miller, John Romita Jr., some other artists who were doing stuff. And after that went by the wayside, I was like, okay, I guess I got to just stick to the old stuff, really. SXS says, New Conan is great. Braithwaite is good, but no RDLT. He's not. And it's, again, it's not, I'm not even against Braithwaite. I've liked some of the Punisher stuff he did, some of the comics he did, some of the Justice League stuff he did. He's good. He's a good artist. He's not, you know, he's not just a serviceable artist, but he's good. But again, it's like, to me, it's like reading this, and then even Secret Wars, you got Mike Zeck drawing it, and then Bob Layton comes in. It's like, what the, you know, serviceable to some extent, but awkward. Didn't quite work. And when Zeck really kicks ass, he's great, but you could tell that his first issue of Punisher to his last issue for that series, guys, we're talking. I mean, he didn't even make it to the last issue. I think Mike Vosberg ended up drawing it. But look at issue 1 of his Punisher 1 and look at issue 4 or 5, his last one. We're talking different artists almost. Flady once says, been reading some old random 60s comics and Marvel Star comics. So fun, good classic tales, suitable for kids and adults. I remember that, yeah. Marvel the Star comics for children. Egon the Dragoncock says, Jack Kirby hated commies and Nazis. These assholes who like to talk about who Jack Kirby would punch conveniently forget that. Absolutely right. He hated, as I call them, commie Nazis. Same shit. Totalitarian, anti-freedom, anti-capitalism, anti-Jew, both ideologies, both of them. Just that Hitler took that aspect further. That's the only difference between Hitler and the other guys. Now, they killed Jews. They killed indiscriminately. Stalin, he killed many Jews, but Hitler was focused on that. That's the only difference. Meaning everything else was the same shit. They hate Jews, from socialism, communism, Nazism, National Socialism, which is what it is, fascism. They're all Jew-hating, capitalist-hating, freedom-hating, liberty-hating, totalitarian ideologies. And the way I always say it is this. It is akin to the Sunni Muslims and Shiite Muslims. Same shit, same brothers and sisters, but they believe in this one little, idea. Well, we are the descendants of the blood of Muhammad, and we are the ones who are for merit-based. Therefore, we're more true believers, and we will kill you. That's what it comes down to. Terrible. Let me go on, guys. I can go on my tangents. That is what it is. It's a live show. But let me continue. And if you guys are just looking for a straight review, go elsewhere. Honestly, I love going back and forth with you guys and talking about this stuff. Okay, so Captain America is still in that government building, and he's going to the elevator, and the guy says, "Ground floor, sir." I love that. The soldier is whispering. He's in awe. "Ground floor, sir," in small letters. He goes, "Not just yet. Sub-level 6. The vault." He knows about the vault. The guy says, "Sir, you aren't cleared. I can't." "Yes, Corporal." Boom. I love that. He goes, "Yes." Love that. SXS says Trotsky was Jewish. I think he was actually born in New York City. Marx was Jewish. Born. Do you understand? It doesn't matter. He was a self-loathing Jew who placed his new ideology, Marxism, communism, over that. I can't stand when people say, like that piece of shit. I forgot his name. Something Schaefer. Something Schaefer. He's a piece of shit. Real fruity guy too. If you watch him, you got all these guys. I gotta say they're all fruity. From Nick Fuentes, Andrew Tate. They're all Jew-hating scumbags. This Schaefer guy, he goes, "Communism is Jewish." That's a dumb fuck. Again, it's a self-loathing of Marx, hating his background, trying to bury that background, and create this ideology which is completely destructive. It's a nihilistic ideology that tries to paint itself as benign. It wants everyone who doesn't submit dead. It's basically Islam in a secular way. The state, Allah, and the state. That's what it is. So I can't stand the bullshit when they pull that. Hey man, Marx was Jewish. Yeah, he was, but he was also a guy who rejected his connection to Judaism, hated Jews, hated himself, hated his family. and he tried to bury the entire world. I mean, basically with his disgusting beliefs. He was a fat shit, dirty, racist, flat out racist. Hated Jews, hated blacks. Um, Jimmy says, "I appreciate the commentary. No worries, thanks, Jimmy." Philly one says, "I like the insight you provide. When I was you, I never paid attention to the behind the scenes of comics. Always focused on the story character." Yeah, yeah, man. These things are great. And again, this is relatively political here, if you think about it. Miller, he's basically pointing out how corrupt the government is in the fictional universe and in ours. And you got this one good guy. He's a super soldier, worked for the government. He still works for it, but he knows this is dirty, and I'm going to look into this. That's why he's breaking protocol, saying, nah. And he goes, not just yet. Sub-level 6, the vault. He's being a renegade here. The guy says, "Sir, you aren't cleared. I can't." "Yes, Corporal." Boom, knocks him out. "Love it." "Yes, Corporal." Like, "Sure, kid." "Many floors above." "No." "Give me a red." "A red," Nuke says. "Sorry, son. It's whites and blues for you. For now, that is." He goes, "Don't get the wrong idea, son. You're not being punished. You haven't done anything wrong. But those reds, they make you pretty wild, and the department is getting a little heat, as you can see. So until your relocation," he goes, "this is my country. I want to stay here. You'll serve it better overseas, son. That's where the enemy is." He goes, "No, the enemy is here. Here." As the Kingpin sold it to him. So here's Cap knocking out a few more soldiers, at least 2 more, to get into this base and get to the bottom of what's going on here. It's a great shot, man. Great shot, guys. They worked a number of things here. The original art, this is all imposed on the pages in some kind of vellum sheet that they had. It's so cool. They had this Zibetone type material here to make it look like a screen. Look at a computer screen. It's huge. It's the 80s. It's great. The reflection off the screen. Awesome. Great eyes. The soldier tries not to remember how it used to be when breaking into top secret records of military intelligence. An act of treason was unthinkable. Unthinkable because it was unnecessary. He tries not to resent the computers, and only an old man would. He punches the keys and breaks the right codes and prays that he is wrong. Project Rebirth. The word flashes on the screen. Then a name. His name. Steve Rogers, unfit for active duty, subject of a chemical experiment that made him a Superman. Steve Rogers, the super soldier, a prototype for what was to be an American fighting elite. If only it had gone differently, he thinks. If only the serum and the mind that held it had not been destroyed, we could have won the war with clean hands, not with millions of innocents murdered by atomic fire. Now, here's Miller putting his 2 cents there about what would happen in Nagasaki and Hiroshima. Hey, man, you want to attack us? You want to kill thousands of Americans? When we get the chance to wipe you out, we're going to do it. That's it. You start a war, we're going to fucking end it. We're going to end you also. Any scumbags who start wars should be ended. So that's his liberal take right there. Fuck them. And he's putting it to Cap's mind, which is even worse. Anyway, all this is old news. Best not to dwell on it. Code after code he untangles easily, impatiently, hunting for attempts to revive Project Rebirth. His stomach lurches as 20 names appear. 20. Dead. All but one. Agent Simpson, codenamed Nuke. So they were trying to revive this, and 20 people died, and he survived. He's been used left and right by this, by the scum, by the criminals in government and out. And Nuke is starting to lose it. He's like, "This is the enemy. They lie about us, make us feel ashamed. Settle down, son. Sir, you're in the way. Freeze, man. We should never feel ashamed. Never." He's getting shot with some tranks. "Shoot him, shoot. Sir, you're..." And he shoots them. Blam, blam, blam. "Now, son, don't go off half-cocked. I won't let you down, sir." He gets a whole pack of reds and just, chugs them into his mouth. "They try to make our boys ashamed." Yeah. red eyes even. That's a great shot. And here's Cap, overwhelmed by it. All that loss of life to try to get this one guy to be used by the corrupt scumbags in our government, and without. It's a great shot, man. Look at that shadow. That's a classic Cap looking. Classic. The alarm goes on. And here we go. I find this funny every time. Cap and, Daredevil, Matt and Karen are in an alleyway, and he's like, costume gives me a psychological advantage over criminals, Karen. Makes it easier to move. Really, it's crucial. She goes, right. It's hilarious. I guess he's trying to to convince her. Maybe feels a little silly at this point, like after being quote unquote reborn, Daredevil born again. Pretty funny. And he usually doesn't dress in front of people. You almost never see him dressing in front of people. So this is new to him, I guess. He's a little self-conscious. I think it's a funny little touch there. And here's a Kingpin getting rewarded for something, for some bullshit. The award from the Businessmen's Association was earned by hard work, by having the arm broken. Listen to this. Listen to the Kingpin. The award, and again, this is the kind of guy he reminds me, right here, he reminds me of the scumbag politicians in the government, the left in particular, like Chuck Schumer, mocking Americans who want to keep their money and all that. This is terrible. It's terrible. Yeah, man, it is SXS. The last panel of Cap and Nuke is great. It sure is, man. Two big guys, soldiers, a corrupted one who was good. I mean, he was just it reminds me like 9/11, how many Americans were gung-ho to go and kill the motherfuckers who killed us on 9/11, and they abused them, our government. They didn't unleash them on our enemy. They let them linger there for 20 years. They didn't want them to fight war, is what it came down to. Bottom line, they didn't want them to fight the war. That's what it came down to. Reprehensible, man. Fucking scum. You got these patriots willing to die for the country, and they fucking told them Islam means peace, and if a guy drops a bomb and turns his back, you can't kill him, and so on. All these disgusting rules. They tied our soldiers' hands behind their backs, and they made them feel like they couldn't do what they could do. I think some of them at least. But we know that if they unleash them, jihad will be over in no time. And I mean that. This was never happening. And that's part of why Pigman, when I heard that piece of shit Bush say Islam is peace, Americans got to realize that. All right, fucker. All right, you crippled our war effort right there. Because if you can't fight it ideologically, if you can't tell the truth about Islam, how the fuck can you defeat its true believers? You can't. And that's part of why they do it. They don't want to do it. Yep. Sad thing, Flady once says, sad thing is we still have troops in almost every nation in the Middle East today. I don't know why the fuck we have that. I really don't. Just to tell them, hey, fuckers, you act up, we're going to come back and bomb the fuck out of you. We want to get away from you guys. Steve Jobs said it pretty well in that biography a number of years ago, a little before he died. He was asked about the situation in the Middle East. He goes, you're fucked if you do, you're fucked if you don't. To some extent he's right, but once they kill us, once they attack us, we have every right to fucking nuke their holiest sites. Fuck them. I don't give a shit. In Pigman, in this coming issue, the one that I'll be releasing for my campaign, he does something that is unthinkable, to the point where I got at least two readers like, oh shit, shocked out of their wits. One of them said they had to put it down. It was too hot for them. I love that. I love getting that reaction because it's something to me that was just common sense. That's what you got to do. Their holy places mean shit to us, and they shouldn't mean shit to us. Nothing. Yeah, but you'll piss them off. They're always pissed off. When the fuck aren't they pissed off? They're pissed off if they're winning or losing or happy or sad or whatever. Happy. They're not happy. But the point is that they're always pissed off. So what? Make them scared fucks as well. SXS says, I've heard tons of stories from soldiers, Nam and Iraq vets, who talk about how the bureaucrats tied their hands. They did. These fuckers did. Again, we have the greatest fighting force on earth. Everyone knows that. The whole world knows that. But the whole world is counting on our disgusting politicians to keep them at bay, to not allow them to show that fact. You got to unleash our soldiers on our enemies. Unleash them. Unleash hell, and the jihad's over. Unleash hell on them. Anyway, guys, thanks for indulging me. Let me go back and read what the Kingpin, and the Kingpin again comes off like these bureaucrats, comes off like these politicians. Because the award from the Businessmen's Association was earned by hard work. He's mocking the entire world here by having the arm broken of the daughter of an oil executive, by procuring a 16mm film of acts beyond description for an automobile distributor. Years of hard work, he thinks. Now they cheer me. The Kingpin of crime. How easily I will shed that title. How happily. This is my future. To leave the underworld behind. No, to bring it with me. Then from nowhere, it strikes him. Like the hammer blow that struck his skull when he was 12 years old and seconds from his first murder. The name. Murdoch. He is there when I least expect him. He hunts me, haunts me, laughs at me. He is nothing, only a man. I have broken so many. Wesley, with something about Nuke. This shot here, guys, it reminds me of the old school artists, the old comic strip artists. For some reason, something about the faces, the old-timey look, I absolutely love it. And the jots and the dots and like dashes for like lines for eyes. It's all in shadow. Bug-eyed there with the glasses. No real fine detail. A thick line there. I love it. And everyone's blending in black. If you notice, I love that as well. They're all blended together. Some, collective criminals. And here's Nuke going through that building, kicking the ass of these soldiers who have no chance against him, and he's killing them too. Until he hears ka-ping, ka-ping, ka-ping. Whook, boom. Breaks him right through the wall, and they crash down from that entire building. Look at that. That's a great shot right through that eagle. Look at that. Look at the anatomy. It's so damn good. The foreshortening is impeccable. It works. Beautiful. Look at this. So check this out. This is a little different Matt Murdock here. This is to show that he's quote-unquote born again, right? I don't think the Matt prior to the series would be doing this, but check it out. $30,000 fed by compulsive gamblers to clever con men, and now stand poised to be funneled into the technically legitimate side of the Kingpin's financial empire. $30,000 of rebuilt diner. I don't begrudge him that. I don't. It's just interesting. He wouldn't normally do that. Our army contact says Nuke broke out, headed for the Daily Bugle. Scramble work. Again, Miller using the word work in vain. God damn you. I almost joked, but not quite. He used Taggart, villain in Ronin. Taggart's the hero of Atlas Shrugged, even though the brother is evil. Rourke is the hero of Fountainhead. Miller's a fan of Rand. He used to talk about her, openly, proudly loving her. He hasn't done that in years. I think he's gone by the wayside, really. Politically, he sucks now. He really does, flat out. Talks stupid about Orange Man and all that bullshit. He apologized for going after the piece of shit commies in Occupy Wall Street, which was pathetic. He's asked about things like Holy Terror. He goes, I wasn't in a good place and so on. Pissed me off. I don't get it, Jimmy, but maybe. If there was only a Kia for him to fall through, I'm sorry. Is that the car? The cheap car? Scramble work and wire him good. Get him in position and wait for the kill order. So they want to kill Nuke. That's their plan. Kill Nuke and kill whoever's around him, whether it's Daredevil or Cap. So check it out, guys. Check out the writing here. The soldier remembers the time before he was frozen. He remembers the smiles. So they got knocked out. Both Nuke and Cap. No matter how souped up they are, that's a big, big fall. Hundreds of feet, hundreds, if not more, and through walls. And It's just so much damage that they can take before they get knocked out. He remembers the smiles. There was so much hope in that time, his time. He remembers the war. 3 blocks away, has to be them. Matt's running it. It's starting to rain. The soldier thinks of airplanes, the old kind. Then he thinks of egg beaters. It's the sound Army helicopters hovering over the roof. Captain, leave me here, Captain. I'll hold the line. On your feet, Sergeant. Yeah, that poor guy. He's not a villain. He's just a, brainwashed weapon that the Kingpin used, that the government used. And Cap feels it. It's a great shot of Cap. Great musculature also. Great muscles in his leg, the height, just right, just right. On your feet, Sergeant. There was something more clean about the planes. Though they dropped bombs that burned flesh and destroyed the efforts of generations, those helicopters moving in, I don't like what they're saying to each other. Wait till they come out. Keep it tight. They're even willing to kill Cap at this point. The planes didn't sneak in close like the helicopters do. They didn't pick off their victims like giant insects from a horror movie. Don't be old, thinks the soldier. Don't be crazy. These are our boys. God damn it. He's still naive. God damn it. Keep it tight. On my order. He goes, they're still our boys, Cap thinks. God damn it. They're not. It's a new breed of savages trying to kill Cap and Nuke together and Daredevil. They don't give a shit. Tagged him. Cease fire. General's orders. Moving in on foot. Went off the roof that way. Sir, we can't let you. I respect that, Lieutenant. I mean, guys, I always love that. He knocks them cold. I respect that, Lieutenant. Like good soldier listening to orders. I love it. Oh, Jimmy. Okay. All right, man. Because Isom fell from the sky. That's hilarious. Nice. If there was only a Kia for him to fall through. Hilarious, man. How the hell did I miss it? I don't know. I think it's funny when I'm, I guess, reading greatness. That kind of stuff is out of mind when I'm actually focused on it. Hilarious. Nice. I love it again. Cap says, yes, sir. Sorry. How's he put it here? Let me just get back there. 1 second, guys. The one guy tells him, sir, you aren't cleared. I can't. Yes, Corporal. It's like, yeah, I'm going to knock you out and get what I need anyway. Somebody call a cop. Lunatic stole my cab. So Daredevil took the cab. He's blind. He can't see red lights or, green. Red light, you blind man? Can't you see? No, he can't. Radar's useless. What the windshields lets through, the rain tears to bits. Too much noise, hard to sort. Scree, honk. Somewhere in it, I pick up his heartbeat. It doesn't look good. Guys, 1 second. I gotta take care of something quick. I'll be with you in 1 second, guys. Sorry. Okay. Okay. I got about 20 minutes. Let's see. Too much noise, hard to sort. Honk, honk. Somewhere in it, I pick up his heartbeat. It doesn't look good. Maniac. And Nuke says, mission status. He goes, you're going home, Sergeant. As long as there's a chance to get him to the hospital. He goes, promise you'd never do that. He just drops dead. And Daredevil's like, no hospital. One place left to take him, one purpose he can still serve. Above. He's heading east now. Keep on it, Corporal. Wait, scan that roof. Heat sensors. Yes, sir. Sir, I'm picking something up. How could you see? Well, he's a super soldier. He clearly has enhanced vision, probably. So here's one of the Kingpin's gangsters. He goes, Daredevil, boss, heisted Nuke and a cab driving west on, wait a minute, make that east on 23rd. He goes, east, the Daily Bugle. We must assume that Nuke has overcome Daredevil and is following his original plan. Patch me through to our squad on the Bugle's roof. Original plan? Was he there to kill Yorick and Jameson? Huh. Winch, come in, Winch. Steiner, report. Steiner, do you copy? Now, guys, this is a small image here, but man, what an image. That could be a poster unto itself of Cap standing tall, wide, legs wide apart, standing on the Daily Bugle's B. I love it. It's fantastic. Such a great shot. Again, that's a poster material right there alone. Fantastic. Anyway, so Daredevil brings the dead body of Nuke to the officers of the Daily Bugle. Says, okay, we'll write about this. We have to get the bastards who put this in action, who killed all those people, who unleashed hell on our city. Sean says, have you seen at store they move like DD? They are British free runners on YouTube. I think you mentioned something. They had this version of Daredevil that they were going to, well, not that they were going to release, but I think that they wanted to possibly do, but of course they can't, they don't have the rights. I heard about that. I think you told me about that. But check, guys, again, look at this drawing, just a sheer drafting ability. Everything about it. The people, look at their reactions, look at the body movement, look at the water even. Look at Ben, his chair, look at Daredevil, his face, the body. It's fantastic. Just great stuff, man. Overall, great stuff. So here we go. Here's the finale here. Well, we already saw the finale, but here's the conclusion here. The resolution. The next few weeks go poorly for the Kingpin of Crime. One of the hitmen placed on the roof of the Daily Bugle names the crime lord as responsible for Nuke's assault. Then, from everywhere, the charges come. Here's the Daily Bugle, U.S. Army super killer, Kingpin implicated in Hell's Kitchen slaughter. From citizens groups and Senate subcommittees, fired by testimony from disgruntled ex-employees, bagmen and numbers runners bartering away from prison sentences, speaking more swiftly than the Kingpin can have them killed. And the faces of his lieutenants grow sullen and hostile. His commands are obeyed, but far too slowly. I love that. He's losing his juice. And here he is, sweating himself off and angrily. Few of the charges stick. Those that do are skillfully cast into years of litigation. Still, in the eyes of everyone except as yet the law, he is a villain. He is shunned, even condemned, by the businessmen who so recently cheered him. The law. At least I took that from him. Murdoch, he thinks, and plans. Here's Matt and a healthy Karen Page walking down the street. My name is Matt Murdoch. He looks like Harrison Ford there a little. My name is Matt Murdoch. I was blinded by radiation. My remaining senses function with superhuman sharpness. I live in Hell's Kitchen and do my best to keep it clean. That's all you need to know. That's awesome. Richmond Construction. That's Richmond Lewis, Dave Mescal's wife. It's great, guys. So let me just go through here also, guys. This is Daredevil number 226. This is the issue that took place prior to this series. I'm going to read a little of it here and there, just parts of it. I'm not going to read the whole thing. I do got to get going. But the Gladiator is back. Melvin Potter. And it's committing a crime here. And this was before, clearly, that Gloriana and Foggy hooked up, but it sets a stage for it. I just want to read a few parts here. The offices of Nelson Murdoch are closed. And this is great right here. This is a good setup for what happens in the next issue. JEC's last page reminds me of that one Bob Dylan album cover. Maybe. He's walking down the street in New York City. It's funny. Positively 4th Street is the one Bob Dylan song that I can hear and rehear as many times. Lady Lay, I think if that's the title, it's also good. But Positively 4th Street is, to me, hands down, one of the strongest songs he sang. It's very angry. He's very angry. Uh, Thanks, Sean. Appreciate it. Super chat from Sean Allen, $2. I guess that's UK. What is that? Farting and talking. I'm down. I don't know what that is, man. Is that from the Daredevil thing? Let me know. Freewheeling Bob Dylan. Check out Positively 4th Street, guys. I love it. I love that song. I think it's great. Thanks, Sean. Appreciate it. Farting and talking. I'm down. I don't know what that is, but let me know. So here, I read a few choice parts and then I'm gonna get going. But thanks for being here, guys. Always appreciate it. Thanks for your time. Thanks for and also, guys, if you could like this video, if you can subscribe to my YouTube channel, if you can follow me on X, I would appreciate it. And if you could back my Pigman comic book, if you could back it, I would appreciate it. The link is here. It's pinned in the chat on YouTube. There was something today, something that was said. Someone said something. I was with someone today and they said something. John Porton says, how's new Daredevil show, Bosch? I still haven't watched it. It's good. It's good. Elements, let's see where it's going, but it's a good start. It's a quality show. And I will put it this way. I watched it like a week after it came out, and I know that they had a two episode start for the first night. So I saw 1 and 2, and then I was like, oh, I gotta wait a week for one. The third was available. I was very pleased. I was like, okay, I wanna find out what's gonna happen next. That's always a tell. When you gotta watch it, when you feel like oh shit, it's available, that's a good sign. So it's good. The actors are always good. Charlie Cox, Vincent D'Onofrio, strong. John Bernthal, and you got the actor who plays Bullseye also. So it's good, but we'll see. We'll see where it goes. They're shooting the second season right now as we speak. Hello, Mr. Gaming. Awesome for you. So let me just go here, guys. Let me continue this, and I do got to get going. Now, this is pure Miller, because, again, this is not the way Denny O'Neil was writing the series prior to this. So he was running across the rooftops when it hit him. He was noticing how beautifully he danced, and yet he didn't mind flaunting it, if only to himself. I'm terrific at this, he thought. I'm in terrific shape for my age. That was a thought that stopped him cold, cutting through the gray haze in his head. For my age, thinks Matt Murdock. My age. I'm not even 30 yet. How long have I been Daredevil? How long? Ever since the world threw that isotope in my face, making me a blind man. Oh, sure, I built up my other senses. There's nobody who can smell or hear like I do, but it struck me blind, and it wasn't the last bad thing to strike me. He's feeling a little sorry for himself. It's a very strange position for Daredevil to be in. But keep in mind, guys, this led into this series, and he was feeling a little sorry for himself. Now, the guys I read to, his life was blown up, basically, but at this point it wasn't yet. He goes, one disaster after another, and everyone putting the blame on me. Everyone I loved or trusted. Foggy, my partner, couldn't pick up just a little slack and keep the law firm going. And Heather, yeah, Heather, why be afraid to think of her name? Killed herself. This on top of everything else I have to deal with. That was actually a very good two-part story. Heather Glenn, and Italy, the Italian mob, and it was actually beautifully drawn by Mescale, beautifully drawn. It was the issue was called Fog, and then the other one was a follow-up. Awesome. Because, but that's what life has turned into, one thing after another to deal with. He feels the cut of the October wind, hears the dull throb of New York City below him. He wonders when the city started making him sick. The city of things to deal with. Then he's got a memory to deal with of something that his teacher told him. There's two sides to you, punk. It's a stick. One studies and reads, the other trains and fights. Problem is, punk, Ain't neither of them sides yours. He goes, you do what your dad told you. You do what I tell you. Even the women you latch onto, it's up to them to make things right or wrong. You just obey. Stop gritting your teeth. You'll need them someday. Because everything's up to somebody else with you. So somebody else is always to blame. You'll never be what you could be because you know in your guts that if you were, there'd be nobody big enough to pat your head. Because ever hear of gray stick? Ever think of just giving me a break? Yeah, it's unlike, but he was a nasty fuck stick. He was, but he did help him get his senses going, especially the radar sense. He goes, the electric scream and squeal of rubber hit cut off his reply to a man long dead. The electric scream and squeal of rubber cut off his reply to a man long dead. Excuse me. With skull guys, I used to call people who can't read on YouTube read tarts. I'm that guy. I am too a retard. With skill that has become reflex, he grabs hold of his superhuman hearing. He aims it. Boom. At the V6 engine that roars beneath him, at the grating voice of a squad car radio. All points, Melvin Potter, armed and dangerous. And check this out. Check out his response. Again, he's a little whiny here. He goes, not you too, Melvin. You promised. Worked my tail to the bone for you. If you betrayed me like everyone else has. And these gangsters have the former gladiator, Melvin Potter's girlfriend. They kidnapped her. And here's Melvin in a dirty apartment. A flop house, Popeye's chicken. And Daredevil's here. And I just want to go through a few choice parts again. I don't want to go through the whole thing here. This is great right here. This is their offices. Nelson Murdoch isn't nailed shut. He just changed the locks. Landlords, they think they own the city. What an attitude, man. Again, this is before his life gets blown up. So he was heading for some kind of fall, at least a mental one. Place feels like a morgue, which makes sense considering how I feel. Why did I come here? I don't need any of this stuff. Anybody thinks I even want to be a lawyer anymore? Well, I'd have to be asked pretty nicely, that's for sure. I never liked this job, helping criminals get off the hook, helping husbands and wives who didn't have the nerve to face each other fight over their children. It was a lousy job, Dad, and I did it for you. I wanted to play like the other kids, but you never let me. Study every chance you get. Be a doctor or a lawyer, somebody important. Be the somebody I never could. Study, 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 study. No, you never gave me a break either, Dad. Always pushing me. Takes that, smashed it through the window. And he goes, so of course the burglar alarm goes off. Paid enough to install it. Let it ring. Let it ring all night. So Glory and Foggy are talking. This is the beginning of what ends up being their romantic relationship. He goes home and he hears a message from Melvin Potter. He goes, Matt, this is okay. Sorry, it's Glory. Oh, never mind. Oh, cold. She ends up breaking up with him on the phone next issue, and then Melvin says, Melvin, Mr. Murdoch, Melvin Potter, I need help. He goes, I know you know Daredevil, and if you could ask him to come to the Dibney Museum, I don't want to, no, don't tell him that. I just say, I'm sorry. Sorry, are you, Melvin? After all I've done for you? I'll leave you a whole lot worse than sorry. So he goes in there with that attitude, and he sees this desperate guy who's doing this in order to try to get his girlfriend back. Daredevil hasn't been paying attention to that aspect of it at all. He doesn't know why he turned bad. He doesn't even want to think about it. He's just feeling down on himself. He's feeling sorry for himself. But this is what he has to say. He sees him. He goes, got your message, Melvin. And just in case you're wondering, the answers are no and yes. No, I don't want you to hear your excuses. And yes, I'm here to kick your face in. And he loses a little. He grunts like a wounded lion. You'd think it was me who betrayed him. His heart goes into overdrive. It's a cinch he hasn't kept in shape. He breaks it in a cold, panicky sweat. He's scared, ready to run away. So I give with a chuckle. That gets him steamed enough to charge, but not enough to stop whining. I don't want this. I do. Boom! You shouldn't. Shouldn't oughta. It ain't right. Man, he's shocked at Daredevil's attitude here. Finally got a rise out of him. He shuts up and gets to it. Moves on me like a locomotive. I make like a speeding bullet. Chuck, thwack, walk. Too easy. Maybe he isn't warmed up. I'm still waiting to break a sweat myself. No, he's warmed up all right, bringing one up from the floor. I could be across the room in the time it takes his fist to reach my jaw. I let it hit me just to see what's in it. I hear the shield waffle through the air toward my midsection. He's breathing like an asthmatic. He's given it everything he's got, and what he's got is nothing. Crack! That should have taken his head off, but at least he got him mad. Mad as an ox, also smart as fast as. Scrack! I stretch it out a little longer than I need to, hoping he'll get it together. But his fire's gone. Been gone for years. He's forgotten too much, slowed down too much. This is a great shot. Look at that. Look at the anatomy. The foreshortening is fantastic. Great shot. Because I get bored and let the waves out. Now that's pure Miller. That's not O'Neill. That's not Denny O'Neill. They co-wrote this, please. This is all Miller right here. I got bored and let the waves out. I love that to describe his radar sense. My own private radar. I draw a picture in my mind of him lumbering at me like an amateur. 4 ways to take him out. I use the pillar. He lies there crying, hugging the pillar like it's his mother. And I go all cold inside. Think of the Hell's Kitchen punks who made my childhood a nightmare. Listen to that, guys. He's going way back there, trying to find a difference between what they did to me and what I've just done to Melvin Pottery. He stops cold at that, actually. He's like, what the fuck am I doing, man? This guy's a pathetic person right now. He's desperate. And I'm just kicking his ass, and I feel like I want to take out my frustrations on him because I've been feeling bad. Again, great shot, and it's sound as hell. Some people don't even try these kind of shots because they figure that they can't get away with it. They can't do it. And here he is, seamless, perfect, great anatomy, great foreshortening. It just looks spotless. And again, he didn't even ink this issue, and it's still damn good. I think Dennis Jank or Dennis Janky, whatever, however you pronounce it, he did a pretty damn good job, all things considered, because I don't like other inkers inking Mass Kelly. But Melvin says, can't blame you. I'm bad. But I've been so scared, devil. They're holding Betsy, gonna kill her. Said I had to steal $1 million or they'd kill her. And check this out, guys. Matt Daredevil thinks, I almost asked him why he didn't come to me. I can't help shudder when I realize he did. He goes, couldn't even put the costume on. The old one, I mean, tried to, and I got all sick. It's true, this is a different costume than what he used to wear as a gladiator. He goes, you want to lock me up, devil? You go straight ahead, but help Betsy. I beg you. Daredevil says he breaks like big men do. Seeming to cave in on himself, I feel the fog lift from my brain for the first time since. The ugly feeling in my gut is shame. It's up to me to make things right. It's great stuff, guys. Great stuff. Great writing. Great feeling also for this. He goes, a few hours later, oops, let me get this right. I gotta do this. I got this damn flap keeps popping over here, which really sucks. Goddamn hate it. Melvin gives up the details on the pickup. I send him home and tell him not to worry about the cops. A few hours later, a nasty wind whips across the pavement underneath the West Side Highway. A bottle pops loudly, crushed by a rubber tire. Quick, nervous footsteps echo against the distant roar of the living parts of the city. A full-grown man giggles like a girl. Goddamn stomach's growling. Sorry, guys. Yeah, a full-grown man giggles like a girl. That's the same thing like Tucker Carlson. A grown man giggling and cackling like a girl. What the hell's that? Pathetic. Anyway, so he gets in the car, and Daredevil was on the move. 40 minutes pass. Ring. Hello? You want a piece of them, Melvin? Meet me at Spring and Mercer. Great shot. Just great. He pauses, startled. The line crackles by itself for a second or two. When he agrees, it's like he's doing me a favor. God damn it, Matt. Holy shit. What a sourpuss, man, this issue. But that's a state of mind. He was thought he'd appreciate the gesture. I know what I'd want if I was him. They're close to killing her when we arrive. Oh no. Oh man. What? Melvin gasps. I feel the air charge up behind me, and when he speaks, worm. He sounds like he hasn't sounded in a long time. Not since the last time he killed somebody. Worm. He's about to kill the guy. When he does, I'm expecting to hear the crunch of bone. Check this out, guys. I'm expecting to hear the crunch of bone and working my way clear to stop him. But he just sighs. That's right, sighs, and throws the guy away like old food. He doesn't walk like a killer, or like the lumbering apology he's been. He walks like a man, a big man, walks to the woman he loves, Betsy. I love that. I love that writing. I love that attitude from Matt right now. I just see, he's been bitching and moaning the entire issue, and he finally just stepped up to himself and said, yeah, all right, this is a good thing. Saved the woman. He goes, me, I'm ready for more, but there's nobody left. Yeah, I love that also. He's just out there to kick ass right now. He's pissed off at the world. Because for some reason, there's a pounding in my head. It drowns their voices. They seem so far away. I try to listen. Her voice is soft and proud. There may be guilt in his, but it's a deep voice, strong and sure. They seem to thank me. Sounds come from my mouth. I hope I say the right things. They leave me. I'm alone. My knuckles are bleeding. Awesome. Great description. Just great. That's the cover I mentioned before, guys. It's a fantastic cover to the collection. Look at this. Doris and Ben, Nuke, the nurse, Maggie, Melvin, Turk even, Kingpin eating the entire city, Foggy and Gloriana, Cap, and Nick Manellis. It's awesome. Beautiful cover. And it's a great shot of Daredevil. Again, it's a tough pose. A lot of artists wouldn't even try it because they can't quite pull off that foreshortening. But here he is pulling it off beautifully. It's fantastic. Let me go through a few more and then I'm going to get going. This is a recolored version. You can tell here. Check it out. It's not that much different, but you can tell a little more texture work, a little more. I don't know. I got to say I prefer this. I prefer everyone being delineated here in their own colors. I do prefer that. It's a stained glass window. You got to mix it up, guys. You can't just, you got to make it look like a stained glass window. Here was the covers without any of the titles on it, any of the fonts, letters. Look at that. It's fantastic. Is this... Hold on a second. Okay. So this is what I mentioned yesterday, but here it is, guys. Daredevil 232, page 6, was art corrected in the original comic to soften Karen Page's features at the request of then editor-in-chief Jim Shooter, and also was placed incorrectly so that the artwork did not run full bleed. The page, as it originally ran, is presented here for the sake of completeness. Interesting. Now, let's get to the issue here. The way it looks, and is it the same? Is it the same? It is in this issue for sure. Let me, okay. That looks the same to me. Let me see it here. One second, guys. I want to see that look. That's the same here. That's the same here. Huh. Interesting. So that's what it was. One second, guys. Let me go back. Okay. Okay. Interesting, huh? Okay. Well, guys, it's been a pleasure. Thank you very much. Thank you for being here. As always, thanks for the comments, the give and take. And thanks for Super Chat, Sean. Appreciate it. Thank you very much. Here's the penciled work. Looks like roughs, but god damn it. This is what ended up being in the actual final work. It's fantastic. It's all damn good, you know. Let's see if the fist is there. It's funny. In the finished drawing, he inked the details here, but he forgot to put the fist, which is funny. I remember noticing it at the time, like, well. But here's the roughs, man. It's fantastic. Look at this. Pretty loose on the pencils, but it's damn good. That incredible scene in the prison. All right, guys. It's been a pleasure, guys. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Thanks for being here. And you guys be well. You be well. You take care. Until next time, guys. Thank you very much, man. Best. Take care.